Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Students Ace Life. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful week. I am bringing you this video from my bed, from my own room, because number one, I'm really tired, and number two, why does it matter where I'm filming from? We're gonna have an amazing discussion. We're gonna have an amazing video regardless. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, please like and subscribe. Where I film is my business, okay? It's my business. All right, healthy habits. Healthy habits are so hard to implement, but once you implement them, you become so happy and so healthy and so confident internally that it takes more energy to not do them. So we're gonna jump straight into it. There are three dimensions of health and wellness. There's the spiritual realm, there is the mental, and then there's the body. So wellness is the sum of health in all three categories, not just physical. Because I know when somebody says health, the first thing my brain goes to is the physical health, like working out and eating well. But that's not necessarily the case. We're starting to know that health is a multi-dimensional analysis, and it's not just about the body. So all right, we're just gonna jump into the first tip. The first tip in the spiritual section, you guys, is to study the Bible. Know the Word of God and know what it's trying to tell you, because not only is the Bible the greatest work of literature in human history, it's also the direct manual from God, the creator of our spirits, on how to care for them. So if you want to have good spiritual health, you have to know how to do that. And it's only written in the Bible. It's only present in the Bible. Other spiritual books have not been historically accurate. And you could look at the research and evidence to really find that out. So study the Bible, because that's the only way you can know how to take care of your spirit. The second tip for spiritual health is to prioritize God, because God is the mind from which all of life originates. So if you talk spirituality, you're going to have to talk theology. And if you talk theology, you're going to have to talk Christianity. And the Christian God is the creator of our spirits. And to prioritize him is to agree with his original idea of creation and his original idea of humanity. And when you agree with it, you function in accordance with it. And when you function in accordance with your purpose and with your design, you have a happy life and a happy lifestyle. The third tip for The fifth tip for spiritual health is to fellowship with other believers. Why should you spend time with other people? Because when you have a lot of other people that share your beliefs, that share your values, who are there for you when you are in need of them, you have a basis of support and a feeling of purpose that you share with a bunch of other people. And that sense of purpose empowers you. Communal purpose is so empowering, and communal capacity is so empowering. Actually, nobody has talked about this other than Ben Shapiro. He says that purpose isn't only an individual, it's not only an individual pursuit, it's a communal pursuit. So you should strive to get a bunch of people who share your values and your beliefs and fellowship with them, spend time with them, because they're gonna lift you up. They're gonna push you forward and advance you to your goals, spiritually and physically too. So find good people who are in agreement with your values and beliefs. The 6th tip is to practice your spiritual gift. The truth is that even if you don't see it, all of us, literally all of us, have something that only we can do as good as we do. Everybody has a spiritual gift. I'm not talking physical gifts yet, although everybody has some of those too, but everybody has a spiritual gift, and that we can be ecstatic if we really use and if we really practice. So if you practice your spiritual gifts and specifically use them in the service of others, you'll be much happier because you'll feel like you have purpose and that you are using that purpose and are not just wasting your time for nothing and wasting your life on nothing, but you're using the thing that you're good at to serve other people. Nothing makes us more happy. The 7th tip in the spiritual segment, and probably the hardest out of all of them, but not really, because of a reason I will tell you later, is to avoid temptation. Now, why did I choose this as a spiritual topic for health? And it's because sin defiles the spirit. Spiritual peace and joy cannot coexist with sin. Sin does something so ugly to our spirits, it makes us unholy and it defiles us. And it's sin to the spirit is what a pathogen is to the body, and I really believe that wholeheartedly. But then again, it's not really the hardest thing to do, especially in the light of Christianity, because Christianity offers a solution to this dilemma, and it is Christ. Christ stands next to you and intercedes for you and helps you in 2 ways, really, 2 ways. The first is by strengthening your will in the face of sin and in the face of temptation, and the second is by being your supreme example and making you look at him and see how holy he is and how beautiful he is, so that your desires are purified. He purifies your desires so that you no longer want to sin. You no longer find the sin attractive. So that's how Christianity solves this sin dilemma, and that's how we can avoid, as spiritual beings, avoid defilement from sin. Now on to the mental segment of health. The first tip is to read different genres of writing. Different genres of writing is different than different novels of writing. You can have drama, comedy, adventure, mystery, horror. Those are different genres of novels. But what I mean is different genres of writing. And there are 6 definitive genres of writing. There's expository, there's persuasive, narrative, technical, poetic. Those are the types of writing you should expose to yourself every single day. Now why? Because those are different ways people portray specific ideas and specific thoughts. Every single thought can be portrayed in one of those 6 different ways. And when you expose yourself to good writing in those 6 different ways every single day, you have better chances at being a better writer yourself. By being a better reader, you can be a better writer. And when you're a good writer, that means you're a good thinker, because people who could write well are people who could legitimately think well. So in order to maintain mental health, you need to be a good writer and a good thinker. The second tip in the mental health section is to pick up a new language. Challenge your brain to think in a different way, to communicate in a different way. And you can do that easily by learning a few new words every single day from a different language. And the easiest way to do that is through the media. So instead of watching or consuming content in a language that you are accustomed to, you can try to listen to songs in a different language or watch a movie in a different language. And that really helps because it breaks those barriers in your mind regarding your ways of communication. And also, language is a science, and like a lot of things that make other human beings different than us, language offers a different perspective from which its speakers see the world. So when you adopt a new language, you're adopting a new way, a new perspective through which you too can see the world. Tip number 3 is to write down your thoughts. We all know what it feels like to just have a crowded, chaotic mind and feel like you are just running like a hamster on this wheel in your mind. But you don't have to live like that. It's okay to feel like that sometimes, but you can take initiative. And the way that you could take initiative is by writing your thoughts down and make yourself feel organized, because nothing of value, nothing of substance comes out of chaos. But when you make that chaos emerge ideas from it, then that is when it actually becomes an advantage to you. The fourth tip in this segment is to debate an issue with another person. Debating opens your mind to a lot of things, especially with people who have very differing views than you do. It teaches a lot about yourself. It teaches you a lot about who you are, what your beliefs are, what your values are, and it also teaches you a lot about the other person and what they too value. And when you learn more about other people and yourself, you start to have the conversations that the world must have in order to change. And when we have a more tolerant society like that, a more liberal society, wherein we have civic conversations, that's when we can build things together and be stronger as a community. And it starts with you. It starts with you and your friends who might be high schoolers, who might be college students. It starts with us having these abilities to reasonably and logically dissect conversations and dissect opinions and beliefs through reason with each other. The fifth tip is to practice a hobby. That could be anything. Make that mean whatever it means to you. That could be playing an instrument, singing, making art, making a robot, building a house, whatever it is that you are interested in, and whatever it is that sparks your heart and makes you really happy, do that thing. Because something beautiful comes out of perfecting a skill and working towards something continually. And it changes your neural plasticity. It changes your neural connection and the neural network in your brain regarding that skill. And then when you come to learn new skills, you'll have more plasticity in your brain and it'll be easier and you'll learn things faster and better. Sixth tip is to minimize media consumption. Now, I know I can sound like an oxymoron when I say this because I am the first to make use of the media through this very video and through the many things that I do on a daily basis. I too love Instagram, I too love Facebook and the media. But we can all agree that although it has many pros, it can be very toxic, time-consuming, and just inefficient for a healthy lifestyle. So what you should do is try to minimize it. I'm not saying completely disregard it or that it's a bad thing, not at all. Just be smart enough. I think we can all do that. Be smart enough to eliminate the cons and really utilize the pros. The seventh and last tip in the mental health section is to make friends. Make friends because people are beautiful. People are inherently valuable, inherently worthy. Life in itself is very valuable. And when you see that value in other people, you are going to have a beautiful heart and a beautiful mind. So recognize that other people are valuable and take initiative to make friends, to start conversations, even in public places. I'm not saying to start a conversation and be suspicious and look weird in front of other people. Just be friendly and take initiative to know more about the people around you, because when you build relationships like that, you become a happier human being inside. I have a quote from the Mayo Clinic that I would like to state to notify you of why that is important for our mental health. And it says that having good relationships and making friends with other people increases your sense of belonging and purpose, boosts your happiness and reduces your stress, improves your self-confidence and self-worth, helps you cope with traumas such as divorce, serious illnesses, job loss, or the death of a loved one. I don't know who wouldn't want all of these benefits, so I'm gonna go jump to people and ask them questions about who they are if that gives me all of these wonderful benefits. On to the physical segment of health, and our first tip is to eat well. I think we all know what it is or what it means to eat well. And if you don't, it's okay. I'll leave a link down below with the dietary guidelines of the United States for 2020. You can take a look at that down below. But eating well is not necessarily for the aesthetic looks of your body, but it's more for the internal health of your organs and your internal functions. When you eat well, when you eat nourishing, healthy foods that have the nutrients that your body needs, your body can provide the energy that you need, that you really require for your daily functions. And aside from that, your body is the living temple of God, believe it or not, and it's something you should take care of because it shows your appreciation for the gift that God has given you. It's the house, the temple that your spirit camps in right now as you pass through this life. And you should show appreciation and gratitude for this gift and for this vehicle by feeding it and by caring for it and supporting its functions, not giving them crap that's gonna deteriorate them. The second tip is also very basic. It's to move your body often. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how young you are, how young you feel, because guess what? You're not gonna be that young forever. So might as well work on it now and take care of it now. You have bones and joints for a reason, folks. You need to move your body. If you don't move it and if you don't use it, you lose it. So take care of it now, move your body, because exercise boosts your energy, improves your mood, and improves your blood circulation, and has all of these wonderful benefits that we all know, but that we rarely take advantage of. So move your body, not just for the aesthetic looks again, but really looking at it from an internal health perspective. Number 3 is to get enough sleep. I am guilty of this. You know what? I should not be giving this tip because I am guilty of this as anybody could be guilty of it. And I'm not proud of it. It's not being like I'm running on 3 hours of sleep is not something to be proud of. It's really not, and I'm really working on it this year. I'm not chronically fatigued, but I have a tendency to just sleep for as long as I possibly can. If no alarm clock wakes me up, if nobody wakes me up, I tend to sleep for like a day and a half to 2 days at most. And probably because I enjoy sleep so much, because I know of its health benefits. I know that sleep makes me feel really good. It makes me feel energetic and it makes me feel rested and recovered. And when my body feels smooth and recovered and I just can like flow throughout the day, I'm able to think. All these thoughts and ideas just flow through me. I'm not even kidding. It's true. I just wake up from a good night's sleep and I have all of these ideas that I write down right away because of the rest that I got. Because your subconscious mind is working while you're resting. And the more you rest, the more power you have, guys. The more you rest, the more you can work. Write that down. The 4th tip is to keep up with your internal health. When was the last time you got a blood test done or a medical scan done? When was the last time you tested for vitamin or mineral deficiencies? When was the last time you took initiative to discover what's going on inside of your own body? Why is this important? Especially if you're a young person, if you're a young adult, why is this important? Because the earlier you identify problems, the earlier you can treat them. Also, how are you gonna know what's going on inside of your body if you don't go and take a look at it? And unless you're a medical professional yourself, you should go and get that done by another professional. So go and take doctor checkups, regular doctor checkups, with utmost seriousness, because discovering what's going on inside of your body helps you treat it better and it helps you identify what you need to work on. The 5th tip is to manage stress levels. Stress, I think, in my opinion, causes more problems, more health problems in the modern world, more than anything else really. Stress just ruins you, it wrecks you. The cortisol levels are actually indicative of how many health problems you'll have as an older person, like diabetes, more anxiety, depression, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. That stuff is very well relevant when you're talking about stress, because stress produces all of that later on if you don't manage it properly. And how can you manage stress properly? That's really a subjective question. I have ways that might not fit with your lifestyle. I tend to write about my stress and write about the things that I'm dealing with because I love writing. What else would I do? I also pray about it. I talk to God with it because it really helps me put my problems into perspective, because most of the times they're not something that is going to really affect me in the long term. And talking to God about it really helps me keep keep myself centered on God and not on myself and on my problems. So this is what I do to manage stress. Everybody has a different coping mechanism. It's really a subjective idea. You take it and do with it what you want. Maintain proper hygiene. This is specifically for the young adult audience out there. And this tip is not just for the sensory side effects of bad hygiene, because although they do exist, more importantly, bad hygiene is a wide open door for viruses and bacteria to come into the human body. And more importantly, and worse actually, to be passed on to other people. So don't take it lightly either. Don't mock that stuff. Don't make fun of people who make comments about hand washing, specifically when we're dealing with a global pandemic right now. So minor things that we often take for granted, like teeth brushing, showering regularly, washing your hands often, that stuff is vital to combating disease, because the chain of infection is a real thing, folks, and we need to take proper care of it than we do right now. The seventh and last tip is to dedicate time for rest and play. If you are constantly tired, if you are constantly grouchy and just angry, or if you feel like you're about to fall apart because of how tired you are, then that's not good. That's not good at all. That's probably indicative of a deeper problem that's going on inside of your body. I don't know, chronic fatigue, I don't know what it is. You have to figure that out. Go see a medical professional. And if you think it's something less than that, if you feel like it's just you being tired and you being really worn out, then take time to recover. Take time to rejuvenate your body and your mind and your spirit. Carve out a lot of time throughout the day. If your lifestyle is really busy and like demanding, carve time to take care of yourself. Not in the weird modern way of self-care. No, I mean that real. You have to take care of your body in order to function properly, in order to produce out of it what you want. In order to honor it, you have to take care of it. And that's an active process. That's not just, oh, chill and have fun. No. If you need to rest, because that's an investment that you need and that your body deserves for the long term. So, with that said, I hope you guys enjoy all of these tips and that you really implement them throughout this year and for the rest of your life, because it will do you no good. It will do you absolutely no good if you run this race feeling unhappy, feeling unmotivated, and feeling worn out. So please take care of your body as you go through this life, and take care of your mind and spirit too. And above all things, have a wonderful break. It's 2021. It's 2021.